Hi, and welcome to News Around the League. I'm Josh Abel, along with my co-hosts, Sean and Dan. Today, Sammy can't be here. Family issue going on right now. If you could please send some prayers for him, it'd be much appreciated to the crew here. But we are starting to get into how Pittsburgh's going to be this year. A lot of confusion going on inside of that organization. Dan, what do you see happening with Pittsburgh this coming season?
I think Pittsburgh can still contend, especially in that division. The division is upcoming, though. Cleveland's young. They just got Kareem Hunt. They did go 7-8-1 this year, and you've seen how much they improved once they got rid of Hugh Jackson, and they got Baker Mayfield in that lineup, and he started rolling. You did see Baltimore go 10-6, ended up winning the division. But, however, I still do think Pittsburgh can still fight for at least a wild card spot. I don't think Pittsburgh can necessarily win their division anymore at this point because you got AB, he's getting traded. It's almost a fact right now. And Le'Veon Bell's a free agent, so he won't be with the team anymore. However, the Steelers since 2013 are 3-1 without AB and Bell. However, all three of those games were the last game of the regular season, two of which didn't even matter. Just Ben sitting, AB sitting, Bell sitting. We're making the playoffs. If we win, we win. If we don't, we're in the playoffs. The other win happened to come this year at the end of the season. Le'Veon missed all of this year with the sit-out. And AB, pretty sure he was hurt. They ended up winning the game to make the playoffs. They needed Cleveland to beat Baltimore. It just didn't happen. And the other one, the one loss, came in the divisional round 2016 against the Broncos, who did end up winning the Super Bowl. But they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 23-16. So I think in 2016, Pittsburgh's defense was just atrocious. So they weren't really all that great. But if you look this year, Pittsburgh was like a top 10 defense in almost every category. So I think with that young team, the young defense going into next year, and you're keeping almost all your pieces on offense. Bell didn't even play this year. You still win 9-6-1. The only problem is you are losing Antonio Brown. So I need to see what Pittsburgh does in that draft. Sean, what do you think that Pittsburgh can end up doing?
Oh yeah, Dan. For the most part, I would have to agree with you with that. They do have the Bell and Antonio Brown leaving, and that's two mega stars in the NFL, two of the most well-known names. But they have great replacements with Juju Smith. He's gonna replace fucking Brown in a way. He's going to be a good replacement for Brown. He's only 21 years old. And you got James Conner, 23 years old, replacing Le'Veon, who was still a young player. But Conner, compared to Le'Veon, the stats are honestly in Conner's favor. For last year compared to Le'Veon's 2017, Conner was averaging 4.5 yards per carry, while Le'Veon was averaging 4. You also got Conner with 12 touchdowns this year, missing 3-4 games. And Le'Veon only had 9 touchdowns in his last year. Receptions, it goes 30 more receptions towards Le'Veon's way, but Conner missed all those games. So I think Pittsburgh could pretty much keep it together, build, and compete in that division. What about you, Josh?
Now, Pittsburgh, for me, is an interesting team in general. I mean, you have Big Ben, who's been in the league for so long, doing this every single year with and without big name talent around him. Before Antonio Brown, before Le'Veon Bell, the Steelers were still a top team inside of the AFC. You look at it, other than Tom Brady, it's Peyton Manning and Ben Roethlisberger that has been able to win that conference. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you look at it, yeah, losing Bell and losing Brown will be a big hit for them, but if Big Ben can keep doing what he's been doing, I think you can see the Pittsburgh Steelers still have some success coming off of that. But like you guys did both say, we have to see how Pittsburgh is going to be in the draft.
Yep. I've got a question for both of you. I'm going to start with Sean. So you mentioned Juju, obviously 21, upcoming, had a great year.
Yep.
But to me, do you think Juju, his stats, his play is going to take a hit? Because now, instead of Antonio Brown getting double teamed, it's going to go on to Juju.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. But you got Ben Roethlisberger. Yes, he's going to be he's 36 years old, but he's still a top quarterback in the league. He proved that last year, leading the league in total yards thrown. So, you still got Juju Smith, and let's just not forget, they got two good tight ends over there, Jesse James and Vince McDonald. And you never know, another receiver could pop up next year and take Juju's slot and be the number 2.
But you also mentioned that Big Ben did have a great year, and he did, but he also led the league in interceptions with 16. I'll come back to you in a minute, though. My other question for Josh was, you said before AB, before Bell, Pittsburgh was a top team, but you said did you mention that they didn't have top talent? I was kind of confused when you mentioned that.
They had some. I mean, Hines Ward was there. They had Bettis early in Ben's career, but other than that, on the offense,
Santonio Holmes.
Yeah, but you look at that. Yeah, he was good, but he was never the top talent of a AB or now a Juju Smith.
Okay.
So I mean, you look at it that way. Yeah, they did have top talent. They had players around Ben, but no one at the level of an AB or a Le'Veon Bell, or even right now a Juju Smith, who, like you are saying, Sean, is going to be a great replacement for AB. Yeah. You go out and add a wide receiver in the draft, not necessarily Marquise Brown for the Steelers in the late round because of the connection with Antonio, but I mean, you go out and add another wide receiver from the draft, pretty deep wide receiving class. I think you could have a good core with Connor, Juju, and whoever you draft.
Another question for both of you. So do you guys think Pittsburgh will make playoffs this year? If you gave me a guess, if not, and if so, what do you think their record would fall? To me, I would have Pittsburgh right around that 8-8, 9-7 area. I think they missed the wild card out by about a game.
I have them right around there too. What you have to look at is that division got a lot tougher with the addition of Baker in Cleveland. Now the Ravens handing the keys over to Lamar Jackson. You have top young quarterbacks coming up in that division, along with the Browns with their stud defense. Yeah, Pittsburgh is top 5 in a lot of these stats, but you go and add Cleveland into the mix, you go add the Ravens into the mix. I could see them, like you said, being around 8-8. They could fall a game above or a game under that. I think they do miss out. I honestly think if how everything works this year, they could end up third in their own division.
Sean, how do you have Pittsburgh playing this year?
8-8 sounds a little underwhelming for Pittsburgh. You know, one of the most trusted franchises in NFL history throughout years and years, decades and decades. They've won Super Bowls. They've won divisions. I got to trust them. I know they know what they're doing with the front office and everything. I'm not going to say they're not going to miss playoffs. Only team that's kind of scary is the Cleveland Browns to me with Baker Mayfield. But the thing with rookie quarterbacks, their second year, they usually seem to fall off a little teeny bit. Growing pains, you know. You never know. Baker could have a slightly less year. I like him a lot, but he still has a lot to learn with the NFL, while Roethlisberger's, he's experienced, he knows what he's doing, he knows how to get to the playoffs. Then you got the Bengals. I really don't see them doing much at all. And the Ravens, yeah, you said they handed over the keys to Lamar Jackson. He is still a big question to me. He has a lot of talent, but to me, he's a big question. What can he do with that team? We'll find out next year.
Well, going back to that really quick, you look at that rivalry, though, between Pittsburgh and Baltimore. The two head coaches have been there a long time, in Tomlin and Harbaugh. So either way, both teams are going to be ready to play in that game. Oh, yeah. And I think that could actually decide the division, those two games.
I think what does end up deciding the division is your record inside of the division.
Yeah.
Whoever I think can go, if you can get to 4-2, 5-1 that division, I think you win that division because 3 out of the 4 teams are going to be playoff contenders. To me, Cincinnati's not really there. They did play okay when they had A.J. Green and Andy Dalton, but to me, they're just a madhouse over there. I don't even know who their head coach is at this point. It's just all bad and Cincy. And let's wrap up this Pittsburgh topic real quick. Where do you see the Steelers trading Antonio Brown to? I have him going to the NFC. I don't think Pittsburgh, especially with how they GM, how Sean mentioned how greatly ran they are, I don't see him giving them to an AFC team just to battle with them. I think they're going to give him out NFC, someone that's not even on their schedule.
So he's not going to the Patriots?
No, he's not going to go to the
Patriots.
No. They're going to probably send AB to a team that needs a receiver. And if I'm the Steelers, I trade Antonio Brown to a team with a high draft pick. Like we also, maybe not a high draft pick, but a top 10, top 15. Fill that receiver spot. I'm trading Antonio Brown maybe to like a San Francisco who's got Jimmy G, who feels like they can win right now. I think they can. Jimmy G can stay healthy. They need a receiver. I would try to maybe San Francisco.
Do you believe anyone's going to give up a first-round draft pick for a player who wants to be out the door already?
What do you mean already? He's been in Pittsburgh for over a decade.
Yeah, but he wants out the door. You think anyone's willing to give up a first-round draft pick? I think they might get a second-round draft pick.
Maybe not first, but I'd take a draft pick.
Yeah, second round, second and third.
I could see it being a second-round pick, maybe 2/3 if a team is, or a second and a third. but I cannot see it being that first round pick.
I don't see that either.
But jumping on to that, I think you are right. They do trade him to the NFC, but I think it's a different team. It's going to be the Packers. The Packers need wide receiving help. They really only have Devontae Adams. Aaron Rodgers isn't getting any younger. They want to win another Super Bowl. They made moves this offseason so far in hiring a new head coach to run a system that Aaron Rodgers wants to run. If they go out and bring in Antonio Brown with Devontae Adams on the other side, the defense is still decent enough to make a deep playoff run, win the NFC North, because really you look at it, I think the only competition will be the Bears. The Vikings, you throw it up in the air because Kirk Cousins didn't have that good of a year this year.
We'll talk about this in a different
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
different zone,
I don't
different
agree with
video.
that.
We'll get into the NFC North in a different video.
Vikings are nice. Well, me, I got Brown going to a team I really hope he does go to, the Detroit
I
Lions.
knew you were
Oh.
gonna say some Lions, man.
I got to, man.
Oh no.
Look, man, they
It would
got
be
Marvin Jones, Galladay, and you add Antonio Brown to the mix. You give up second-round picks, you give up third-round picks. Lions never do anything with them picks anyways. I know they're not going to make the move. The Lions never make the right move. But if they do, they have a loaded receiver core with a young, good running back. And Matthew Stafford had a horrible year last year with that core. We'll see what he can do. And
The only
he's
question
also an NFC team.
the only question I got for you is, would Antonio Brown want to play for the Lions?
Yes.
What would be your reasoning?
Why would he not? He's going to go there. He's going to be the star. He's going to be on a competitive team. If he's going to make that team instantly competitive. NFC North, like you said, I think they're a great division. Bears with the defense. Packers are kind of. I don't like the Packers right now. I like Aaron Rodgers, but other than that,
So you got them going.
they're
with the
horrible. I don't got
Packers.
the Packers making the playoffs. I think the Lions are a better fit than the Packers.
Well, one thing really
Okay.
quick on you having AB going to the Lions. He's already came out and said he wants to go to a team who's ready to win.
And you think
and
that?
I do not see the Lions.
And you
being that
see the
team.
Packers winning? The Packers are going
They could be a
downhill
little
fast.
bit better. They could be a
No,
little
I
bit
don't
better
think
with
so.
Brown.
I don't think
But
so.
let's wrap
We'll
this
wrap
up.
it up
We're
right
getting
here.
a
So
little
you think AB, he'll get traded to Green Bay. You
Yes.
got him going to Detroit. Me, San Francisco. One last question to wrap it up real quick. If you're Pittsburgh, do you accommodate to AB? Do you trade him where he wants to go, or do you do what's in the best for you at this point?
I go with the best for you. It's a franchise. You know, he's already shown his interest. You guys got to do what's best for you. This is going to have years and years of impact.
So you
Wow.
got him doing what's
Yes,
best for the
do what's
franchise.
best
Josh,
for
what do
the
you think
The
Pittsburgh does?
NFL is a business, so it could be what's best for them, but I could also see it being the case that you have what's best for the team is
And
also
what's best
best
for the
for
player.
Antonio Brown, and that could be either San Francisco or
The
Green Bay.
Lions.
Any team that any three of us mentioned.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching News Around the League. Watch us tomorrow to get another video and another episode of News Around the League.
Catch you later.